Hello and welcome to the Corner Flag. Luton Town are coming to the Premier League and Everton are staying in the Premier League. Aakarsh is on cloud 9. This is episode 216. Well, Aakarsh Chandan. All the heartburn, all the anxiety, all the trauma seems to have been postponed for one more season.
Yeah, just postponed. Yeah, there's a part of me. I'm not fully on cloud 9. I'm like cloud maybe 4.5 ish. Because there's a part of me that was almost wishing that khatam kar. It's just end the misery, pull the plug. But yeah, one more season. At least one more season.
One more season of trauma for you. Prashant Soni is back on the pod again because we are recording remote. And it is tough for Prashant to make it to the studio all the way from Dubai, as we have mentioned before. Prashant, I can't really say much to you about Chelsea because...
neither can I, but...
They existed.
They exist.
They
yeah,
existed.
They were there. They were there.
Yeah. Should we, considering that you're back on the pod after a long time, should we just quickly talk about United versus Chelsea 4-1?
Kaun sa game? What? What? Who was playing?
Okay, let's talk about Mikhailo Mudryk because we are way past that banter now. I'm saying with Mikhailo Mudryk, what were people saying about Anthony being too expensive and all of that? What happened with Mudryk? Like, how could he not score from that close?
You remember we had a player. His name was Timo Werner.
Yes.
Right. I'm just going to leave it there.
It's a like for like swap.
I don't know what it was, but
I thought you were going to say we used to have a player. His name was Fernando Torres. He also used to miss open goals like that.
We can create a list of this. You remember Lukaku?
Yeah.
Who's now gone to the Champions League finals.
Hey, but if Lukaku was in place of Mudryk, his first touch would have been so bad that I would have bumped into the ground.
No, his first touch would have been so bad you would still have his thumbs up for it.
Thumbs up. But see, I feel like Chelsea does this to strikers, like or like goal scorers, proven goal scorers from other teams when they buy them for a lot of money and then the goals just dry up. Like, I don't know what it is about Chelsea, but I feel like even with Mudryk, I feel like it's just that he is so under pressure and he's a young kid at the end of the day. I feel like there's just so much pressure. There's just so much uncertainty happening at Chelsea that he's just not able to deal with it in his first season. So maybe with Pochettino coming in, that might turn out to be good for Chelsea and for Mudryk in particular.
I don't know. I mean, see, Mudryk is a kid, right? Like you just said, he's at some point these guys just really want to just enjoy football. But then after a point when you start putting a lot of pressure, you're really not like, you don't have that freedom of playing the game that you really want to play or the way you want to play. You're not even like used to the style of playing specific kind of football. There's all these, he's probably not a good fit, right? Maybe he hasn't found, I don't know. It's still, for me, it's still too early to say. Obviously, because of all the changes that Chelsea has gone through. And no matter what's going to happen, it's still always going to be too early because Chelsea's always going to keep fucking making changes. But yeah, I just think some of these guys, right, they need to find like, they need to be able to get comfortable with the squad to play things, I don't think they found that just yet. And I don't know, I still think he's not comfortable in the squad.
Yeah. Aakarsh, do you still would have preferred Mudryk to come to Everton as one of the people that was targeted?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would have liked him because right now we have Andros Townsend on the bench who has like an ACL injury happening. But anyways,
wait a second, Andros Townsend is still at Everton?
He is, but he's had such a long injury that now in fact his contract's over. His contract, he never got to play again. So while we're on, since there's no run order and moving in, while we're on United and Chelsea, I want to ask the two of you guys, Harry Kane, where's he going?
Yes.
Because I feel like it's between these two clubs. It's either United or Chelsea that he's going to end up going to. He's not going to leave the Premier League for sure. No other team really needs him or fits the bill. United or Chelsea, where is he going to be next season?
Oh, so it's me going, obviously. I don't know, man. I would have said United a couple of seasons back. Definitely not the coming season. United's got a really good squad, man. Like, come on.
But United need a striker.
Do you need a striker?
I don't think they need it. I really don't think they need it.
Really? Kaun khelega? Anthony Martial?
He'll come. He'll do it. You know it. He's proven. It's
This
proven.
is Prashant. This is Prashant playing it. This is Prashant playing it cool. No. I don't think they need it. Yeah. I don't think. I think they're okay without it.
Deep down inside, Amogh is just happy. He's like, somebody fucking agrees. Koi to hai ye podcast
With
mein to,
what?
that we don't need whatever another striker.
I'm saying.
He's saying that. I don't think he actually believes in it. He's just
Let me make
it.
this very, very clear to all our listeners. I'm not downplaying it. I know that we desperately need a striker. We fucking need. Our striking options are Wout Weghorst right now, who's on loan from Burnley. And again, I've said this multiple times before on this podcast. Bless his soul, he tries a lot, but he's not great. He's not at a Manchester United level. We need a proper goal-scoring number 9. And right now in the Premier League, that's Harry Kane. With the shit season that Spurs have had, he has literally been the one person, and it's not even Heung-min Son. Harry Kane single-handedly has taken Tottenham Hotspur by the collar and dragged them to the position that they finished.
Yeah, without
wasn't
him, there
for
wasn't Conference League goals.
Nothing. And he is a proven Premier League goal scorer. He has the ability and the desire to be the Premier League's all-time leading goal scorer. He wants to take that record away from Alan Shearer, which means that he will not want to entertain a move outside of the Premier League if Real Madrid
Yeah, no
or Barcelona
chance. He's not
or any
gonna
of
go.
the European
No
teams are interested. He'll want to stay in the Premier League. So as Aakarsh said, it's right. It's between Chelsea and United. And up until, let's say, 1 day ago, I would have said, yeah, he'll definitely want to come to United now because City is no longer an option. They've got Haaland. So they've completed football. But And Chelsea was never going to be an option because what a fucking shit show. But now Todd Boehly has said that he's going to take a step back. They've appointed Mauricio Pochettino. And that Poch connection, and Aakarsh, you and I discussed this.
Yeah.
I feel like that Poch connection now adds a very interesting dynamic to this race for Kane's signature. From a United point of view, I feel like the two concrete striker targets that we have, actually, let's make that 3 because there are chatters of this third one. The first two, obviously, Harry Kane is definitely a target. He comes with homegrown quota. He comes with fucking oodles of Premier League experience. So he will really fit well into this Ten Hag team. I think he'll play well with the rest of the players as well. The second striking option that is being rumored is Victor Osimhen from Napoli. Now that Napoli have won the Serie A, their big players are pretty much destined to leave. Much like how we're seeing with McAllister and Caicedo with Brighton. That's just how that club will be run. So I definitely think Osimhen is going to move in the next transfer window. And I think his price tag is 150 million or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel like United will break the bank to bring him. The problem with Osimhen is he is not proven in the Premier League. And at this point, maybe Erik ten Hag just needs somebody who knows what the league is all about, is proven to be a lethal goal scorer in the league, won't have any issue adapting to the team. And that's why they might go heavy on Kane. If not Kane, then Osimhen is number 2. Number 3 is Gonzalo Ramos from Benfica because he had a great World Cup with Portugal.
Right.
United have a very strong Portuguese spine because we have Brazilian players and Portuguese players, Portuguese leaders in terms of Bruno Fernandes. So in that sense, he also kind of fits really well into this United setup. But again, very young, unproven at this level, not even a Premier League, but at an elite level because he's only been playing for Benfica.
Yeah, and
so you don't know.
Yeah, with Portugal, there have been so many of these false starts with like João Felix, with what was his name, Renato Sanchez.
No, but João Felix is actually not
He's
bad.
pretty good.
João Felix has been playing really well for Chelsea. He's one of the good players at Chelsea right now
But
under Frank Lampard
that's
and under this
because
regime.
Chelsea. No, it's like in Chelsea, anyone's good. But I'm saying like Portugal.
I'm sorry. The only thing João Felix. The only thing Joao Felix has not been able to achieve at Chelsea is say EA Sports, it's in the game.
Oh man, that's just
Did you see that video?
Damn sad.
No.
Because it was Joao Felix, it was Armando Broja, and it was Noni Madueke. And they were asked to say EA Sports, it's in the game.
Right.
All right, so the other two do it, and then when it comes to Joao Felix, he's like, sports. And the other two just start laughing, and he's like, come on, bro. I'm trying, bro. What is this? Come on. It was so cute to watch. Because he looks only like a bacha.
Right.
He's getting ragged by these guys. But I feel like he's feel like he's doing really well. Yeah, I think he's doing well.
But yeah, I feel like if Osimhen's for 150, then I think Harry Kane can't be that expensive or won't be more than that because he has only 2 years remaining on his contract now. He is what now? Nearing 30?
Yeah, we'll have to pay the Daniel Levy tax though. So,
Of course.
the price will get jacked up.
But he's not going to go anything lower than 100, no? Because that's what he...
No, I don't.
But 100 for Harry Kane or 150 for Osimhen, you will definitely want to go for the proven Premier League striker with an insane amount of drive and like a very achievable goal in front of him.
Yeah. Because the one thing that has always eluded Harry Kane is the quest for trophies, and he'll want to win trophies at Man United. Like he will then add that extra sort of desire that the squad can do with. It's not like the desire is any low. I feel like Ten Hag's done really well to get that desire up this season, and will probably continue to do so in coming seasons. But then with Kane coming in as well, his personal motivation to win trophies might just be what the club needs. So yeah, I think Harry Kane would be the best option. I just hope that he doesn't fall into this toxic trick of हाँ पर Pochettino वहाँ पे तो मैं उधर जाएगा क्योंकि उधर तेरे को घंटा कुछ मिलने वाला है Harry.
Now we're definitely going to steal him. Fuck you. Now you wait.
I just realized while I said that line, I sounded like the dubbed version of Harry Potter on Star Movies. Ron Weasley, before they go into whatever the forbidden forest. Ron Weasley, तेरे को उधर घंटा कुछ मिलने वाला है Harry. और मानो उसको बोल ना यार. But yeah, so let's go to Survival Sunday because that's what it was. Everything else in the Premier League yesterday was pretty much done and dusted. Top 4 was pretty much sorted.
5th and 6th
the battle for the rest of the 5th and 6th were also pretty much sorted. The battle for European places, but where it was all happening was the relegation zone. 3 teams with 2 spots to go down.
More like 2 teams only.
Who would be the fuck-allest of the fuck-all?
No, at the start of the game,
Leeds.
it was 3 teams.
Up till 5
Yeah,
minutes.
because Leeds, up till 5
Come on. Let's be fair.
Yeah. Has anybody checked in on Sam Allardyce, by the way? Is he okay?
He's probably dancing
has
his money away in Ibiza or something like that.
I mean, no, he got £500,000. He could have made 2.5 million more had he kept them up, but he didn't. So he only went away with £500,000. But do you think he's going to just believe that this never happened and he was never manager of Leeds so as to keep his unbeaten relegation streak, as he claims, still active? Because even that West Brom relegation, he doesn't talk about. He still says, I've never taken a team down.
I mean, this time though, he's definitely taken the team down because I don't remember what the dynamic was with West Brom. But when he came in, Leeds were out of the Premier League, out of the Premier League relegation zone. So he did take them down. We'd spoken about how he could have potentially lost all the games and still stayed up because they were, I think, 16th, 17th when he came in. So he's definitely taken them down.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. So, I mean, Spurs ended the season on a high, getting a 4-1 victory over Leeds United. Bye-bye Leeds. I could not be happier. Nobody needs you anyway. The only redeeming quality that Leeds had was they had Marcelo Bielsa as coach for 2 seasons. And the minute they sacked him, I was like, now there's no sympathy for you guys. Now fuck you. Like, abhi kabhi point hi nahi. Why does anybody care about you? So good riddance to them. Everton and Leicester were the other 2 teams that were fighting for that last, or fighting to not be in that last relegation spot. And regardless of what would have happened, and now we know what happened, Leicester City Premier League champions not that far long ago
7 years.
have been relegated to the Championship. It's sad, but with either of the teams going down, it would have been a sad day because
Obviously.
both those teams have been such big teams in the Premier League era.
I think especially Everton though, dude. Come on. I think you also touched upon that, I think a couple of episodes back, where you're like, Everton going out of the Premier League is it just doesn't feel right. There's something wrong.
It feels unnatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been unnatural. I mean, it's 69 consecutive seasons in the top flight currently. Only Arsenal have a better run right now. And,
69.
yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it would have been like if they went down, it would have been like they did it. They just made it to 69, and then everyone just had a laugh and went down. But thankfully, there'll be a 70th. But I feel like apart from Everton, the team that I wouldn't want to go down would be Leicester, because it's just been such an amazing story. It was such a good roller coaster ride. But on the other hand, it also feels like, you know how we watch shows that just go on and on and on, and then there are shows like Ted Lasso which finish. You know, it's a finite number of seasons. There is a nice loop, and I feel like Leicester had that loop. They came up, they almost went down immediately, then they won the league, FA Cup, they played Europe, and it was just like, now it was a 7-season arc. Unka khatam ho gaya sadly.
Correct.
But they'll be back. I feel like they'll bounce
yeah.
back right away.
I feel like, see, with Leicester City, you're right. It was a lovely ride, but it was tarnished by Brendan Rodgers. So I think that is the reason that they needed to go down.
Yeah, I feel
They
like
just made
they
some
stuck with him too
terrible.
long.
They stuck with him too long, and they made some terrible moves in the transfer market. Terrible.
Like, which ones? I feel like there I don't know how much I can blame.
They sold Harry Maguire and Wesley Fofana. Two of their
They got 80 million for Harry Maguire.
Exactly. But and they got a lot for Wesley Fofana as well. They got a lot of money for selling two of their centre halves. Now, I don't think they should have sold two of their centre halves back to back. I mean, of course, it was in different transfer windows. It wasn't in the same transfer window, but they really shouldn't have done that. Because once they took those two out of the equation, you were only left with Johnny Evans as your most experienced centre half. And he's been playing really well for Leicester over his time there, but he's not getting any younger. He's not fit enough to play an entire season.
Right.
And we saw that towards the end of Leicester's season. Like, he wasn't available. Like, the last few matches, he had to play through the pain barrier because there was nobody else available. They got all that money for these two players, but they did not invest it wisely. They invested in Patson Daka, who was, I would say, a miss.
Yeah,
Didn't
but
really work out.
he had a lot of potential.
He had a lot of potential,
yeah.
didn't work out. They got Chaglar Soyuncu in defense. Not great. Very, very error prone. Then they got Wout Faes. Also very error prone. I think Wout Faes has the record of scoring the most own goals this season in the Premier League.
Sad.
Every time Wout Faes has the ball, you feel like he's going to put it in his own net. So their recruitment has not been very good. And the only other players who could have saved them were an aging Jamie Vardy, who again is not able to perform
Yeah.
all throughout the season.
Right.
You have James Maddison, who has his moments. मतलब वो जब भी खेलता है अच्छा तभी बहुत अच्छा खेलता है, but then he has a big slump in form and then there's nobody to pick that up, and they don't even have a good manager who can manage him back to form.
But
And you have Harvey Barnes.
right. But on the defense, I feel like, again, that's a Brendan Rodgers problem, because they would have gone to Brendan Rodgers and said, should we get defenders? And he's like, नहीं, मैं तो defend करता ही नहीं, मुझे आती ही नहीं defending. मैं attack करूँगा, you get me more attackers. Defending
Yeah.
में क्या रखा है?
Correct, exactly. Attack is the best form of defense.
Yeah, he takes that too literally.
So I feel like, I feel like those are all the decisions that led to Leicester's downfall, that led to Leicester going down, because like, you're right, they stuck with Brendan Rodgers for too long. And maybe in hindsight, I get where the owners are also coming from, because again, at the end of the day, Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. Forget his time at
he's a
Liverpool.
hack.
No, forget his time at Liverpool, but he did a good job with a team like Swansea. He did. You know, that's where he made his name, and he did a good job with Swansea. He did a good job with Celtic as well. So for that profile of a team, he can be good. And nobody expected a Brendan Rodgers team to be sucked into a relegation battle. So it is natural for the owners to be like, no, we'll stick with him because he's still a very good manager. He can get us out of this. But with everything else that's happening with the club, with the playing staff, like I said, terrible recruitment. Tielemans is running out of contract. They weren't able to re-sign him. So that's one big player in their midfield whose future was completely uncertain for most parts of the season.
Right.
Vardy, you don't know if he's going to sign an extension, if he's going to retire. You have no idea what's happening. Madison again, rumors of him going to Newcastle. Future very, very uncertain. Not really focused on the task at hand. Who else? Johnny Evans, not really getting any younger, like I said. With all that uncertainty, Soyuncu going to Atletico Madrid at the end of the season, already done and dusted. They weren't able to tie their players down. And what happens is then the morale in that dressing room also goes down because everybody knows, nobody's going to be here next season. So why the fuck are we playing so hard? Like, what are we playing for? We don't know what's happening next season.
I think they already knew it, yeah. I've seen that. I think they already knew that they were going to go down.
Fair to them, they played a very good game yesterday, and they did everything they could, but it was just too little, too late. You know, like yesterday, I think they had a great performance. I think West Ham also helped by having a shit one. But they all played their hearts out yesterday, and thankfully they didn't do it the previous game. But I'm gonna miss Leicester, but I think they'll be back right away. I think they have lots of saleable assets. All these guys that you named will leave. They will get money. They will invest it well enough to get a promotion right away. And I think we'll see some stability again.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's speak a little bit about Everton though. What a game. We were watching this at your place, Aakarsh. Of course, we had the Everton Bournemouth game on the big screen and all the other games on the smaller screens. But what a game. And when Doucoure scores that, absolute screamer.
Yeah, I wasn't like, it took about 5 seconds for it to sink in that it actually went in. Because I don't know where that came from, man. It was... and I feel like we were talking about it before the game, discussing that who are the people that can stand up, and Doucoure was one of the names mentioned, but it was such a good strike and again made me realize how terrible a manager Frank Lampard is, because under Benitez and under Lampard, Doucoure wasn't getting a sniff onto the team sheet. He was just nowhere around. And now he's been extremely important. He's scored, I think, 4 goals in the last 6 games or something like that. And he's really stood up when it mattered the most. What a strike. It needed something like that because credit to fucking annoying Bournemouth. They could have come out in like chappals and played Aram se. They had nothing to play for. But they played their socks off. I think the keeper, I forget the keeper's name, made some incredible saves.
Matt Travers.
He was
in the
like,
first half.
Like he was like, I don't want to give away this clean sheet. There was that Idrissa Gana Gay shot. There were a couple of really good saves. And I think it needed something special, like what Doucoure came up with. Because it was stressful. Like Goodison Park, up until that goal, was nervy, and I was expecting it to be like bouncing and pumping, and it was. But then when Leicester took the lead, the nerves started to show.
You could hear it. Like you could
hear it. Yeah, it went from like a bit of a party to an angry beehive. You know, there was that buzz in the air. Every mistake was being like, not booed, but there was that collective gasp and groan of annoyance. But the outpouring of emotion when that goal went in, like Gary Neville's commentary was like, he's like, I've never been in a gantry that shakes so much, because it was just insane. And then after that goal went in, Bournemouth also was like, chal, now we're not like, we don't give it enough of a shit tomorrow and come back. So I think after that, Bournemouth went a little bit into second gear, but it was terrifying up until
I don't think so. But, I mean, sure, Bournemouth may have been like, you know, we're done with this. But credit to Bournemouth, they really did mind games and all. Come on, like second
yeah,
half,
they
they
were
had
at it
some
fully.
serious mind.
They made it as tough as they could
Yeah.
for Everton.
Yeah.
They made it be like, yeah, we want to get a result here. Like, we don't care about your Premier League status.
Even if you have to play WWE with Pickford.
हम लोग को जीतने का है. So I mean, and that's great. That is the type of mentality that you want in a game like this also, where even a team that has nothing to fight for fights.
That's the mentality you want.
Just stop talking about it from an Everton point of view now. We're a football podcast for general listeners also.
Fuck that.
So from a neutral's point of view, no, but it was great. It was great to see. It was great to see the games all together. And I was also rooting for Everton because between Everton and Leicester, I'd rather Leicester go down and not Everton.
Yeah.
Because Everton are a Premier League fixture, and also because I really, really care about your mental health, Aakarsh. I really, really like you.
If I'm being completely honest, if you care about my mental health, you would let them go down. Because then it would be like it's like your friend is in a very toxic relationship. It's been like a 2-decade-long, very toxic relationship. If you genuinely cared about me, you'd be like, break up kar le, khatam kar le, rip the band-aid.
See, if Everton was going to go down to the Championship, you'd still get to see the games because they're all on fan code for really, really cheap. And Aakarsh, you and I saw the playoffs final, the Championship playoffs final between Coventry City and Luton Town, which saw Luton Town beat Coventry City on penalties. Fantastic game up until the last penalty that Coventry City missed. But what that means is little Luton Town are in the Premier League. 9 years ago, they were playing non-league football, and now they are in the Premier League. They have a player, I think Mapunzu, I think is his name, who has been with Luton since the non-league days, and he has seen them go from non-league to League 2, League 1 Championship, and now Premier League. And he said, I feel like I've completed football. And what a fucking story. Because, I mean, listeners, you must have seen a lot of photos from the Luton Town account and from Athletic and from a bunch of other football tweeters and Instagrammers about Kenilworth Road, which is Luton's stadium, and how tiny it is and how the entrance to the stadium is through people's houses. It's a fantastic story. Like, this is a team that you would expect to play in the FA Cup 4th round. But they're in the Premier League. You're going to see them every week. It's going to be great.
It's amazing. And not only so 9 years ago they were in the non-league, but when Leicester won the Premier League, which was in 2006, they were in League 2. And now they're above Leicester in the pyramid. It's just what a rise. And
what a rise.
Consequently what a fall, but what a rise.
Yeah. Their manager Rob Edwards was earlier on in the season manager of Watford. I'm sure those mugs must be thinking they did something wrong.
Yeah, they must be hating it. One of those mistakes that's going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
But where did they finish? If I'm not mistaken, they finished, 6th in the Championship?
I think they finished 6th.
So it's going to be a tough ask, for them?
Yeah. It is going to be tough. But I feel like for a team like Luton, even that one season in the Premier League will help the club. Because the money that they'll make from that one season and the parachute payments that they'll get for the next 3 seasons if they do go down immediately.
Sorry, Luton finished 3rd. Respect.
Oh, they finished 3rd. Oh, respect. But yeah, so Luton join Sheffield and Burnley in the Premier League next season with Leicester, Southampton and Leeds United going down. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. Right, before we go, let's quickly talk about Bayern Munich. They won the Bundesliga. Dortmund shat the bed right at the end.
Yeah, terrible, dude. How?
They had it.
They almost had it.
No,
Maybe
but
next season.
They
we'll
just,
see.
in the last game, they just never took the lead. They never took the initiative. They never went ahead.
Yeah. They Arsenaled it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's worse.
Not really.
They really bottled it, man. One game to go.
They really
You're
did.
playing mains.
Yeah.
It's one game. Arsenal.
Yeah. What means?
Arsenal had a long time going. This was one game, 90 minutes. And they just couldn't.
They really should have. Right. It is time for us to get out of here. It is a short episode this time around because we only wanted to focus on the relegation battle and the comings and goings in the Premier League for next season. But what that means is next week, when we come back, it'll be after the FA Cup final. Hopefully, United will have beaten Man City in that and stopped them from winning that goddamn treble.
Oh my God!
I believe, guys.
Your delusion.
I believe. I think we'll get it.
हाँ, of course. Anthony Martial आएगा, वो goal score करेगा पक्का.
करेगा. अरे, we'll transfer Kane in right now only.
Why not?
Transfer Kane in right now for this game. No, but what that means is next week when we come back, we will come back to reveal our predictions that we made at the start of this Premier League season. So we'll see how we got on. And joining us on the podcast will be a few friends of the flag. So it's going to be really, really interesting. People who listen to us and contribute to us will be joining us. They'll be helping us make our team of the season. They'll be helping us reveal our predictions. So it's going to be an absolute fucking party. It is going to be great, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Corner Flag. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Aakarsh on Instagram at
Aakarsh Chandan.
You can find Prashant on Instagram at
Prash224.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Support us by going to buymeacoffee.com/thecornerflag and buying us a coffee because that really, really helps us. If not, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review because that also helps us climb the podcast charts and be discovered by brand new listeners. Shout out to Kazat Gurda for composing our theme tune. And until next weekend, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Prashant.
Bye.
Say bye, Aakarsh.
Bye.
And it's bye from me.
For America's climate goals, investing in clean energy adds up. But what doesn't add up is an additionality requirement for clean hydrogen. Additionality would put an unnecessary and inequitable burden on domestic clean hydrogen producers and have serious consequences for America. America needs clean hydrogen, but an additionality requirement just doesn't add up. Get the facts at cleanhydrogentoday.org. Paid for by the Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Energy Association.